Event Viewer, a component of Microsoft's Windows NT line of operating systems, lets administrators and users view the event logs on a local or remote machine. In Windows Vista, Microsoft overhauled the event system. Overview: Windows NT has featured event logs since its release in 1993. Applications and operating system components can make use of this centralized log service to report events that have taken place, such as a failure to start a component or to complete an action. The Event Viewer uses event IDs to define the uniquely identifiable events that a Windows computer can encounter. For example, when a user's authentication fails, the system may generate event ID 672. Windows NT 4.0 added support for defining event sources, and performing backups of logs. Windows 2000 added the capability for applications to create their own log sources in addition to the three system-defined system, application, and security log files. Windows 2000 also replaced NT4's Event Viewer with a Microsoft Management Console snap-in. Windows Server 2003 added the AUTHZ install security event source API calls so that applications could register with the security event logs, and write security audit entries. Versions of Windows based on the Windows NT 6.0 kernel no longer have a 300 MB limit to their total size. Prior to NT 6.0, the system opened on-disk files as memory-mapped files in kernel memory space, which used the same memory pools as other kernel components. Event Viewer log files with file name extension evtx typically appear in a directory such as c/Windows/system32/winevt/logs/Windows XP. Windows XP provides a set of 3 command line tools, useful to task automation: Event Query VBS, official script to query, filter and output results based on the event logs. Discontinued after XP. Event Create, a command to put custom events in the logs. Event Triggers, a command to create event-driven tasks. Discontinued after XP, replaced by the attached task to this event feature. Windows Vista, Event Viewer consists of a rewritten event tracing and logging architecture on Windows Vista. It has been rewritten around a structured XML log format and a designated log type to allow applications to more precisely log events and to help make it easier for support technicians and developers to interpret the events. The XML representation of the event can be viewed on the Details tab in an event's properties. It is also possible to view all potential events, their structures, registered event publishers and their configuration using the WebTutor utility, even before the events are fired. There are a large number of different types of event logs including administrative, operational, analytic, and debug log types. Selecting the Application Logs node in the Scope pane reveals numerous new subcategorized event logs, including many labeled as diagnostic logs. Analytic and debug events which are high frequency are directly saved into a trace file while admin and operational events are infrequent enough to allow additional processing without affecting system performance, so they are delivered to the event log service. Events are published asynchronously to reduce the performance impact on the event publishing application. Event attributes are also much more detailed and show event ID, level, task, opcode, and keywords properties. Users can filter event logs by one or more criteria or by a limited XPATH 1.0 expression, and custom views can be created for one or more events. Using XPATH as the query language allows viewing logs related only to a certain subsystem or an issue with only a certain component, archiving select events and sending traces on the fly to support technicians. Filtering using XPATH 1.0, open Windows Event Log, expand out Windows Logs, select the log file that is of interest to you, right-click on the event log and select Filter Current Log. Change the selected tab from Filter to XML, check the box to edit query manually, paste your query into the text box. You will find sample queries below. Here are examples of simple custom filters for the new window event log. Select all events in the security event log where the account name involved is user, query list queried equals 0 path equals security select path equals security, event data, data, at name equals target username equals user query list. Select all events in the security event log where any data node of the event data section is the string user, query list queried equals 0 path equals security select path equals security, event data, data equals user query list. Select all events in the security event log where any data node of the event data section is user, or JDOE, query list queried equals 0 path equals security select path equals security, event data, data equals user, or data equals JDOE query list. Select all events in the security event log where any data node of the event data section is user, and the event ID is 4471, query list queried equals 0 path equals security select path equals security, system, event it equals 4471 and, event data, data equals user query list. Real-world example for a package called Goldmine which has two names, query list queried equals 0 path equals application select path equals application, system, provider, at name equals Goldmine or at name equals CMService query list. Caveats: there are limitations to Microsoft's implementation of XPATH. Queries using XPATH string functions will result in error. Event subscribers. Major event subscribers include the Event Collector Service and Task Scheduler 2.0. The Event Collector Service can automatically forward event logs to other remote systems, running Windows Vista, Windows Server 2008 or Windows Server 2003 R2 on a configurable schedule. Event logs can also be remotely viewed from other computers or multiple event logs can be centrally logged and monitored agentlessly and managed from a single computer. Events can also be directly associated with tasks, which run in the redesigned task scheduler and trigger automated actions when particular events take place. See also, List of Microsoft Windows components, Microsoft Management Console, Technical Support Scam, References. External links, Official sources, Developer documentation for event logging, Windows 2000 Security Event Descriptions, Windows Server 2003 Security Threats and Countermeasures Chapter 6, Event Log from Microsoft TechNet, Events and Errors on Microsoft TechNet. Other, Windows Event Log Viewer commercial tool that can be run on Windows, Linux or Mac OS X, EvTalk command line tool to pull events and generate reports from Windows event logs. Evented.net contains several thousand Windows event log entries along with troubleshooting suggestions for each of them. For developers, how to write to an event log by using Visual C.